I only mentioned this in passing when this story first broke about the Tampa Bay, like the Rays baseball team that is. And there were a few, I don't know exactly how many athletes for the team that refused to basically buy into this Pride Day bullcrap, which would have had them, which is so stupid of them to do anyway, which would have had them having to wear basically Pride gear on their jerseys, and they opted out of doing that. And apparently that in itself was a problem to, of course, a bunch of leftists. And that was a problem to, of course, the leftist media, because all the media, the main media, aside from Outkick regarding sports, are a bunch of social justice leftists anyway. Sports is trash right now, which is why I don't, for the most part, watch it. But, you know, it's affected the sport. It's the brand's not good. It's not a good brand of sport that you're even seeing anyway. Certainly when you have to, they got to intertwine all this social bull crap. But ESPN, Around the Horn, that's still on apparently. People still watch Around the Horn. And one of the Whammon radio hosts and network contributor, her name is Sarah Spain, had some interesting things to say about these athletes not. Oh, I was like, what the hell was that? Oh, man, I thought that was coming. I thought I was about to, hey, I know this isn't the segment. Oh, this is in the middle of the segment. I thought I was about to have to follow up the Lawnmower Man again, but that's not what it was. Hold on, I know exactly what it was. I thought it was something that was happening outside of my headphones, and I was like, I know this damn lawnmower guy didn't fucking start getting it going again while I'm doing my show. I was about to lose my damn mind, I promise y'all. But now let me pull this up. But yeah, Sarah Spain, that's her name. Sarah Spain, and she had some interesting things to certainly say in this regards. But this is what she said. Pride is about inclusion. That's what she said. So you don't love them and you won't welcome them if you're not willing to wear the patch. Okay, this is a pledge of allegiance, and this is what I had always called this pride bullshit, and as it kind of leaked into other avenues, I guess, where you were kind of requiring people to pledge allegiance to this movement. That's exactly what it was, and that was exactly what you were going to get. This is what they said. This is what tends to happen when frivolous class isn't affected by things. She continued, this is not just about baseball. That religious exemption BS is used in sports and otherwise also allows for people to be denied health care, jobs, apartments, children, prescriptions, all sorts of rights. Shut the fuck up. And so we have to stop tiptoeing around it because we're trying to protect people who are trying to be bigoted from asking for them to be exempt from it when the very people that they are bigoted against are suffering the consequences. See, this is the thing. And I think that's a piece of shit analysis from this Whammon. But I guess it's fucking certainly what you get when you are bringing them certainly into this fold, social justice weirdos, that is, into this fold and having them comment on various shit that they probably shouldn't be talking about in the first fucking place. But it's so interesting that, you know, you've heard me probably years ago. I used to use this analogy all the time, or what an analogy, because it's actually what happens, where I would say that anything short of jiggling and gyrating with these weirdos at a parade means that you're a bigot or a homophobe. And a lot of things people thought that was kind of a tongue-in-cheek, hyperbolic terms, but no, that's exactly what it is. So set the scene here for you guys who are out of the loop on that. It's really this simple. Tampa Bay were doing a Pride Day, and there were athletes that did not want to participate that and wearing and rocking that shit on their jerseys. That's really all that it was. So they take that to mean that's bigoted. So it's talking it's about inclusion. Like, I go back to the song Utopias Don't Exist by my band, where I say, black, white, gay, straight need to pipe down. Nobody's obligated to accept your lifestyle. And the difference, I think, between other various lifestyles and living things, let's say that, various subcultures that people participate in, when it comes to this gay shit, and I'm going to call it what it is, they feel like they are above the fray. They are above everything else, and certain amount of rules must certainly apply to them. You think of other subcultures that people belong to and adopt. And then that includes lifestyle choices, religious deals, how they go about their, acting on their own sexuality, where you could be like, well, that's weird, and I'm not going to participate in that. It may be even degenerate. And it's not expected of that person, right, to have to adopt and embrace that lifestyle in order for them to have to prove themselves to not be a homophobe, which is a term that you guys keep using wrongfully, because I'm willing to bet that these people that are playing this a game of baseball are not scared of homosexuals. But bigoted means you won't embrace me and co-sign my lifestyle to them. And that's bullshit. That is a change of certainly a change of a definition. But no matter what it is, let's get off the term bigot. What she's essentially trying to do is paint those athletes in a bad light for simply not wanting to participate in this bullshit. Okay. And they shouldn't obviously be required, and it didn't sound like they ever were, but they're being punished socially in this regard. And I guess you can make the argument, because it is true, that they have the right to call whatever people whatever it is that they want. Likewise, I have the right to certainly respond to that and say how goofy and retarded that they certainly are for having such a position where they operate as if, well, because they think that this group is marginalized, you must include them in every fucking human affair it is, when all these guys are going around doing is hitting a goddamn round object, catching a round object, throwing a round object. And they think that in itself they need to encompass people's various other people's lifestyles. Now the MLB, and this is I guess the issue that sports had in the past, is that it had done a lot of getting involved inside of political stuff. But for the most part, I think in the past, a lot of that stuff was more on the universal truths, not this gay shit, which is far more divisive than what I guess they like to believe. And this is why I continue to tell you guys to laugh, mock, and shame these weirdos. When they and I'm pretty sure, I don't know what the athletes are. Hopefully they're not apologizing or anything, because eventually these people get over it. But when people, I've been claimed to be transphobic, of course, because of my position. Again, anything short of jiggling and bojangling and gyrating and shit at one of their parades is going to get you called that. Remember, I showed y'all that back and forth that I had with the person that called me a transphobe. And this is how you deal with them in the video or segment, rather, on this note. When they make a claim like that, they're going to do that regardless. They are going into it with malicious intent. They have bad intentions. They're acting in bad faith. What they want you to do is be on the defense, because they want to legitimize whatever bullshit it is that they want to legitimize. So your response to that is not to get on the defense. Your response to that is to shrug your shoulders and then start making fun of them for having such a position. You remember that back and forth that I had with the person that called me a transphobe, or rather, she called me a transphobe multiple times, and I never acknowledged it because it was a dumbass statement, or rather a claim that she, of course, had no receipts to prove. I never even acknowledged that it existed, and I continued with the conversation of whatever it is we were having, and I was addressing everything else but that. And then she responded to me, and she said, and I have a video on this, you guys can go check that out. She responds and says, so you're not going to address the supposed claims of you being transphobic? And I said, I am under no requirement to defend myself from a dumbass claim. And then she fucking malfunctioned, because they don't know how to operate. What happened? You gave this crowd, and it's not just people that do the pride stuff. That's not what I'm saying. It's those that, and their little colleagues that they have, because to some folks, they're just useful idiots. So they have their own end game. But for those types of people, they require you to always be on the defense. That is a requirement for them to get what it is that they want. And because so many people did, because they acted as if we were acting, or they were acting in good faith, and we were dealing with honest, like people that had the same ethics and set of morals that we have. So they would think, well, you would claim someone as that, and you'd be like, well, okay, I'm not that. I want to defend myself against that. No. That only works if you're dealing with an honest person. These are not honest people. So you don't do that. You don't act like that, because what happens is what you got right now. Get people gaslighting, and people trying to destroy folks because they simply will not rock. And I wouldn't rock some gay shit either if it was if someone, I don't give a fuck, what the occurrence is. If I was being a part of something, let's say, well, you require me definitely like to rock it out. I'm going to be like, nah, bro, I ain't doing that. Simple thing. Doesn't mean that I'm scared of you. I'm just not rocking that gay shit. As simple as that. And for folks that then twist that and make that seem as if you hate a particular group or you're scared of a particular group, that's what they want you to do. So laugh at them. Mock, shame, laugh at these people. And you'll see that this effort will stop. But as long as y'all keep being on the defense, well, you keep giving them power, whether you know it or not. You just listened to a clip from my podcast, For Cannon's Sake, which is live throughout the week at 12 p.m. Central on youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. Be sure to check out my website, ericdjuly.com, so you can stay up to date with everything it is that I'm doing. You can also become a member and get access to a bunch of cool perks and exclusive content, which includes a social media hub where you can interact with myself and other members. It even has an app that you can get, which is now live in the Google and Apple stores.